True Grit, 1969, is one of the most iconic Western films in cinema history, celebrated for its unforgettable characters, gripping storyline, and outstanding performances. However, many of the legendary actors who brought this masterpiece to life have sadly passed away over the years. In this video, we pay tribute to the talented stars of True Grit who are no longer with us, honoring their incredible contributions to the film industry. From John Wayne's legendary portrayal of Rooster Cogburn to the remarkable performances of the supporting cast, we reflect on their legacy and the lasting impact they've left on Hollywood and the hearts of audiences worldwide. John Wayne, born May 26, 1907, took on the legendary role of Rooster Cogburn in True Grit, 1969, at 62 years old, became one of Wayne's most memorable characters. However, off-screen, Wayne's persona was marred by his controversial views, particularly his staunch conservative politics, which sparked constant public backlash. His outspoken anti-communism, support for the Vietnam War, and denouncement of Hollywood's left-wing figures made him a divisive figure. His film career, though iconic, was marked by physical battles, including health problems, that began to take their toll during True Grit. Wayne's troubled personal life was filled with failed marriages and strained family relationships. The actor had 5 children from 3 marriages, but his family life was often overshadowed by his busy career. His infamous roughness, even with co-stars, fueled rumors of on-set tensions, including a strained relationship with True Grit co-stars. Though adored by many, Wayne's personal struggles, including his battle with stomach cancer, painted a different picture of the man behind the screen. He passed away on June 11, 1979, aged 72. Jeremy Slate, born February 17, 1926, played the untrustworthy Emmett Quincy in True Grit at 43. Known for his rugged demeanor and ability to play villains, Slate's career was anything but smooth. While he found some success in films, the actor was often typecast as the tough guy, a label that stifled his potential. His personal life reflected his on-screen roles in some ways, marked by his own battles with alcohol and a tendency to get embroiled in controversy. He was married 4 times, with the relationships often ending in drama, adding to his reputation as a man of emotional volatility. His deep struggles with substance abuse led to his alienation from many colleagues in Hollywood, further damaging his career. Beyond the screen, Slate faced public criticism for his heavy drinking and for the clashes he had with fellow actors. His personal challenges and multiple career missteps left him on the periphery of Hollywood stardom. He passed away on November 19, 2006 at 80, his final years marked by health battles and a career that never truly reached its peak. Glenn Campbell, born April 22, 1936, portrayed La Burf in True Grit, 1969, playing the strapping Texas Ranger with an eye for justice and a hint of romance. At 33, Campbell was already a renowned country music star, but his career in Hollywood would forever be overshadowed by his personal demons. While his acting career was promising, he struggled with substance abuse, often fueling his erratic behavior both on and off the screen. His battles with addiction became well known, as did his tumultuous relationships and several failed marriages. Glenn's personal life was a constant media circus, with headlines frequently about his divorces, substance struggles, and strained relationships with his children. Behind his charismatic public image, Campbell grappled with inner turmoil, and his attempts to find peace were often overshadowed by his struggles with alcohol and pills. His music, though, continued to resonate even as his health deteriorated. Glenn died on August 8, 2017 at 81 after a lengthy battle with Alzheimer's, a cruel twist of fate that capped off a roller coaster life full of highs and lows. Dennis Hopper, born May 17, 1936, played Moon in True Grit, 1969, a young outlaw whose brief appearance left a lasting impact. At 33, Hopper was already famous for his role in Easy Rider but was also notorious for his self-destructive tendencies. Hopper's career was plagued by his erratic behavior, fueled by substance abuse, which often made him difficult to work with. He was known for his volatile relationships, including his brief marriage to actress Denise Nicholson, which ended in scandal. His volatile temper and unpredictable behavior on set led to a series of clashes with directors and fellow actors. Despite his brilliance as an actor and director, Hopper's personal demons, including his addiction to drugs and alcohol, kept him from ever truly finding peace. His scandalous lifestyle continued to overshadow his professional achievements, making him one of Hollywood's most controversial figures. Though he eventually sought recovery, his legacy remains intertwined with his troubled past. Hopper passed away on May 29, 2010 at 74. Strather Martin, born March 26, 1919, portrayed Colonel G. Stonehill in 1969 at the age of 50. Colonel Stonehill, a humorous, cowardly character, added levity to the film's serious tone. However, behind Martin's famous voice and well-loved Western roles lay a man whose personal life was filled with tumult. Martin struggled with health issues, particularly heart problems, which deeply affected his career and his personal relationships. Known for his volatile nature off-screen, he gained a reputation for being difficult to work with. His personal life also included failed marriages and a troubling dependence on alcohol, which contributed to his deteriorating health. Despite his success, these issues led to him being overlooked for some roles, with whispers of his difficult personality tarnishing his otherwise stellar Western career. Martin's health declined sharply in the late 1970s, and his sudden death at 61 on August 1, 1980 from a heart attack left many questioning what might have been if he had overcome his personal demons. Alfred Ryder, born January 5, 1916, played Gowdy in True Grit, 1969, at 53, a character whose brief but memorable appearance was a testament to his skill as a character actor. However, Alfred's career and personal life were far less glamorous than his time in the spotlight might suggest. Despite being a respected stage actor, Ryder's Hollywood career was plagued by struggles with consistency, often finding himself relegated to minor roles. Off-screen, Ryder led a private life, but he faced several personal battles, including a marriage that ended in divorce. The actor had a tendency to be overshadowed by the more flamboyant personalities around him, which caused a sense of frustration. Though he found success in the theater, his inability to break into more prominent film roles was a constant source of disappointment. In his later years, Ryder faced the struggles of aging in a profession that thrives on youth and beauty. He passed away on April 16, 1995 at 79, quietly leaving behind a career that was marked by missed opportunities and the quiet echoes of what could have been. Jeff Cory, born August 10, 1914, played Tom Chaney in True Grit, portraying one of the film's most despicable villains. At 55, he brought gravitas to the role of the fugitive killer, a character that would leave a mark in cinema history. But Cory's career, full of potential, was derailed long before True Grit when he was blacklisted during the McCarthy era. Accused of communist sympathies, he was barred from working in Hollywood for over a decade, a period that saw many of his peers advance while he languished. His return to acting, including True Grit, was bittersweet, as many saw it as a testament to his talent and perseverance. Cory's personal life also reflected his turbulent career, divorces, strained relationships, and a constant battle to regain his reputation as an actor left him a man with few true allies. His later years were marked by health issues, and his death on August 16, 2002 at 88 from complications after a fall was a quiet, sad end to a career that had once been full of promise. John Feedler, born February 3, 1925, portrayed Lawyer Daggett in True Grit at the age of 44. Known for his soft-spoken demeanor, Feedler's role as a minor character did little to showcase the full depth of his acting range. Yet, Feedler was most famous for voicing Piglet in the Winnie the Pooh franchise, a role that became both a blessing and a curse. typecast as the gentle, nervous type, Feedler struggled to find roles that deviated from this niche. His personal life was marked by struggles with anxiety and depression, which he worked to keep private, though they undoubtedly affected his career. Feedler's relationships were often strained, and his work habits became known for being meticulous to the point of obsession, alienating colleagues. Despite these issues, he found solace in his voice work, but the darker side of his career was rarely acknowledged. He died of cancer on June 25, 2005, 80, a quiet end to a career overshadowed by typecasting. Ron Sobel, born March 28, 1928, played Captain Boots Finch in True Grit. At 41, he was already facing the harsh realities of a Hollywood career defined by typecasting, often relegated to roles as a tough guy or villain. While Finch was a minor character, Sobel's imposing presence on screen left a lasting impression. Off-screen, Sobel was trapped in a cycle of roles that did little to showcase his full range. His personal life mirrored his on-screen persona. He was known to have a short temper and a penchant for conflict, which made him difficult to work with. His career never reached the heights of his early promise, and he struggled with the pressure of typecasting. As he aged, health problems, including lung and brain cancer, took their toll. The disease that eventually claimed his life on May 2, 2002 at 74 was seen by many as a tragic end for a man who had been largely forgotten by Hollywood despite his solid work in films. James Westerfield, born March 22, 1913, portrayed Judge Parker in True Grit at the age of 56. His stern, no-nonsense performance as the authoritative judge was a perfect fit for the character, but behind the scenes, Westerfield faced challenges that hampered his career. Hollywood was not kind to him as he struggled with issues of substance abuse, particularly alcohol, which affected his relationships on set. His personal life was filled with instability. He had a string of failed marriages, and his career suffered as a result of his unpredictable behavior. His struggles with his personal demons were well known, and many in the industry felt his talent was wasted due to his inability to maintain professional relationships. Westerfield's death from a heart attack on September 20, 1971 at 58 was the culmination of a career that never truly reached its potential due to his off-screen turmoil. Despite his talent, his life and career were cut short by the very demons he could not escape. Donald Woods, born December 2, 1906, played the role of Barlow in True Grit at the age of 63. Barlow, a background character in the film, played a small yet memorable role in setting the film's events in motion. However, Woods' own career trajectory was less than stellar. Despite a lengthy acting career that spanned decades, he became known for taking roles in B-movies and low-budget westerns, which many consider the decline of his once promising career. His early fame had been overshadowed by an infamous scandal involving an affair with a co-star that ruined his marriage and reputation. Woods' personal life was tumultuous, characterized by strained relationships and rumors of a troubled marriage, which was exacerbated by his alcohol dependency. His financial struggles were notorious, and by the time he retired from acting, he was a shadow of the star he once was. He left Hollywood behind for a quiet life in Palm Springs, where he turned to real estate, far removed from the glitz and scandal of his younger years. Donald Woods passed away on March 5, 1998, at the age of 91. John Ducet, born January 21, 1921, portrayed the sheriff in True Grit, 1969, at the age of 48. His character, although a minor presence, commanded respect, playing a no-nonsense lawman. On screen, he brought authority and strength to every role, especially in westerns. Yet, behind the scenes, Ducet's career was marred by personal turmoil. A perfectionist on set, he often clashed with directors and co-stars, making him a difficult figure to work with. While his deep voice and intense presence earned him a steady stream of roles in both B-movies and westerns, his reputation for being temperamental limited his opportunities. He struggled with alcohol throughout much of his life, a habit that fueled much of the instability in his personal life. His marriages were rocky, and his children reportedly distanced themselves as he became increasingly difficult to be around. In the years following his success, his career waned, and he faced years of financial instability, compounded by health issues. Despite his early fame, Ducet passed away from cancer on August 16, 1994 at 73. Edith Atwater, born April 22, 1911, played Mrs. Floyd in True Grit at 58 years old. Although a minor character in the film, Atwater's portrayal of the matriarch had an undeniable presence. Her career, however, was riddled with personal challenges. Atwater was a talented stage actress, but her transition to film was anything but smooth. Offstage, her life was filled with turmoil, most notably a deeply dysfunctional marriage that was publicly scandalous. Known for her stoic and reserved public persona, she secretly struggled with depression and anxiety, which she battled throughout her life. In her later years, Atwater was known for her volatile temper and confrontational behavior with fellow actors, which led to her being blacklisted in some circles. Despite her strong career on stage, she found it difficult to maintain the same level of respect in Hollywood. Edith Atwater passed away on March 14, 1986 at 74, from cancer, leaving behind a legacy of remarkable performances overshadowed by a life of private battles. John Pickard, born June 25, 1913, played Frank Ross in True Grit, 1969, at 56 years old. His character's murder is the catalyst for the entire film's plot, giving Pickard's role significant narrative weight despite his brief screen time. Pickard's career, however, was anything but simple. Known for his tough guy image, Pickard had a history of volatile behavior on set, with frequent arguments and even physical altercations with co-stars. His private life was equally turbulent. He had a string of marriages that ended in scandal, with accusations of infidelity and abuse. His family life was fractured, and his children often struggled with his erratic behavior. Pickard's later years were marked by a series of personal losses, including the death of close friends and family members. His health also deteriorated rapidly, culminating in a tragic and bizarre death. On August 4, 1993, Pickard died from an animal attack at 80, a fittingly strange and tragic end to a life that had been anything but ordinary. Carlos Rivas, born February 16, 1925, portrayed Dirty Bob in True Grit, 1969, at the age of 44. His character, although minor, was memorable for his gritty portrayal of a character caught in the web of the Western world's moral ambiguity. Rivas was an accomplished actor who straddled both American and Mexican cinema, but his career was marked by an industry that often relegated him to stereotypical roles. In real life, Rivas was a founding member of Nosotros, an organization dedicated to improving Latino representation in Hollywood. However, his personal life was a stark contrast to his public persona. He was known for his chaotic relationships, including a scandalous affair with a fellow actress that nearly ruined his career. Rivas was also a notorious gambler, which led to financial difficulties and strained family relationships. His health declined after battling prostate cancer, a struggle that would ultimately take his life on June 16, 2003 at 78. Despite these challenges, Rivas remained dedicated to his craft until the end, leaving behind a complex legacy in both Hollywood and the Latino community. Elizabeth Harrower, born May 28, 1918, portrayed Mrs. Ross in True Grit, 1969, at the age of 51. Mrs. Ross, a minor character, barely registered in the grand tale of revenge and grit. But Elizabeth herself was far more complex than her role suggested. A prolific writer in the soap opera world, she was a respected name on Days of Our Lives and The Young and the Restless. However, her personal life was a turbulent saga of its own. Haunted by a series of failed relationships and scandals in her later years, Elizabeth found herself alienated from many in the industry. Though she kept her struggles with alcohol and her turbulent mental health mostly private, those close to her knew she was often overshadowed by inner demons. Yet, her reputation as a brilliant yet temperamental creator followed her, with whispers of clashes with show producers and creative directors. Elizabeth passed away on December 10, 2003 at 85 after a lengthy battle with cancer, but her quiet exit hid the stormy life behind the scenes. Wilfried Brimley, born September 27, 1934, played a minor role in True Grit at the age of 35. However, Brimley's career later soared thanks to roles in Cocoon and The Natural. Despite his late rise to fame, Wilfried's personal life was marred by secrecy and bitter controversies. He struggled with his weight throughout his life, often publicly battling accusations of negligence toward his health. But far darker were the whispers about his temper and alcohol use during his early years in Hollywood. Known for causing disruptions on set, Brimley was rumored to have been blacklisted for a time due to his behavior. His public image was forever overshadowed by claims of mistreatment of women and co-workers. In his later years, Wilfried focused on his health, becoming an outspoken advocate for diabetes awareness. Yet, the once beloved figure never fully escaped the whispers that lingered about his problematic past. He passed away on August 1, 2020 at 85 from complications related to diabetes, but his true legacy was built not on his roles, but on his troubled, often combative nature behind the camera. Ken Renard, born November 19, 1905, played Yarnell, a minor but significant role in True Grit, at the age of 64. While Yarnell's presence was solid and steadfast, Renard's off-screen life was anything but predictable. A trailblazer for African-American actors in non-stereotypical roles, Ken's career took a sudden downturn after a series of controversial outbursts that alienated him from Hollywood elites. Famous for his commitment to his craft, Ken was rumored to have had an affair with a prominent studio executive's wife, resulting in a bitter feud that led to his diminishing roles. His personal life was equally rocky, with his marriages falling apart due to his temper and struggles with financial mismanagement. Known for his explosive temper, Renard's sudden disappearance from the Hollywood scene was largely attributed to his volatile nature. He passed away on November 16, 1993 at 87, leaving behind a legacy marked more by scandal than the quiet strength he portrayed on screen. Chuck Hayward, born January 20, 1920, portrayed a card player/raft man in True Grit at the age of 49. Renowned as a master stuntman, Chuck worked closely with John Wayne and became known for his skill in horseback stunts. However, behind the horses in dramatic scenes, Chuck's personal life was far from graceful. A notorious gambler, Chuck's obsession with the casino life often put him at odds with his family and co-stars. His marriage, strained from the start, ended after a public scandal involving a huge gambling debt that threatened to bankrupt him. Even after his retirement from stunt work, Chuck remained a controversial figure, with rumors swirling about his personal battles with addiction and his mistreatment of younger stunt performers. In the years leading up to his death on February 23, 1998 at 78 from Hodgkin's disease, Chuck had become somewhat of a recluse, distancing himself from the very industry that once adored him. Connie Sawyer, born November 27, 1912, played the talkative woman at Hanging in True Grit, 1969, when she was 57 years old. Known as the oldest working actress in Hollywood, Connie's career spanned over 80 years, and she became a beloved figure in the industry. Though her role in True Grit was small, she brought a unique energy to the scene. While her career flourished, Connie's personal life was marked by several turbulent relationships. Her marriages were rocky, and she openly discussed her struggles with maintaining family connections. One of her most notorious moments came when she spoke about the challenges of being an older actress in Hollywood, where she felt overlooked by producers who preferred youth. Despite these obstacles, she worked steadily, often taking on minor roles that left a lasting impact. Connie passed away on January 21, 2018, at the age of 105, leaving behind a legacy of resilience but also a trail of unspoken struggles. Myron Haley, born June 8, 1923, played the role of the deputy at Prisoner Unloading in True Grit, 1969, when he was 46 years old. His character was a no-nonsense, tough lawman who helped build the gritty, tense atmosphere of the film. Haley had a long-standing career as a dependable villain in westerns and action films, often cast as the unsavory, intimidating characters. His career was marked by consistency, but his personal life was less stable. He was known for a fiery temperament that mirrored the characters he portrayed. Myron's personal challenges included strained relationships, particularly with his former wives, and his struggle with alcoholism which, at times, impacted his work. Despite these struggles, he continued to find success in TV and film, but his career had its dips, often being relegated to supporting roles or character parts. After years of battling personal demons, Myron died on December 21, 2005, at the age of 82 from complications of a stroke, marking the end of a tumultuous career and life. Stuart Randall, born July 24, 1909, took on the minor role of McAllister in True Grit at the age of 60. His portrayal of McAllister, a brief but memorable character in the film, was part of a career that spanned decades. Randall's career in westerns and crime dramas was solid, but he struggled with maintaining visibility in an ever-changing Hollywood. The actor's personal life was marked by secrecy and few revelations, though he reportedly faced marital troubles. His later years were overshadowed by declining health, and while his career in film and TV had highs, the latter years were filled with quiet obscurity. In the late 1980s, Randall was reportedly bitter about his lack of recognition despite his long career. He passed away on June 22, 1988, from cancer at the age of 78, leaving behind a legacy marked more by the roles he didn't get than those he played. Who's your favorite character in True Grit? How do you feel knowing that the actors have passed away? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you so much.